Welcome to Passionate World Talk Radio. Educate, enlighten, entertain. And this morning, our special guest on Cool Your Heels with Lillian is Russell Brunnson, who wrote a book called How to Keep Your Small Business Thriving During a Pandemic. So good morning, Russell. How are you this fine, sunny day?
I'm doing great. How are you doing?
I am doing well. What motivated you to write a book about having your business survive during the C virus?
Yeah, well, the book's actually called Traffic Secrets. It's all about how to get customers to your business online. And it's interesting. I didn't know that the book was going to launch during the middle of a pandemic, but obviously it did. And it's perfect timing because so many people right now are struggling trying to figure out how do we get customers to us, especially companies that rely on, more traditional traffic, like people driving past their store or people walking past. How do they get customers in? And so that's what the book's all about, is how to use the internet to get customers even during crazy times like we live in today.
I would suspect that the popular malls would be delighted to get your book, because 90% of them do depend on foot traffic because they're all in this space that they rent in one location.
Yeah, definitely. And I think, for so many of those people, when the pandemic, when the stay-at-home orders hit, their businesses dried up. And so many people are looking at how do I protect myself? How do I grow even when I can't get people to walk past? And one of the powerful things about the internet that I don't think a lot of people understand is, with traditional advertising, let's say somebody buys a TV ad, it's shown to everybody in their city, even though most of the people in their city may not ever want their product, their service. But the powerful thing about the internet is that you can target people so well. So you can say, I only want this ad to be shown to people that are most likely to buy my product. And then by doing that, you're not wasting all this money. Your ad cost goes way cheaper. So it's actually probably the cheapest form of advertising, and gives you the ability to get just the right customers coming in the front door, which is why I love talking about it and love showing business owners how simple it can be.
Well, I know I own an internet talk radio station, so I've been on the internet for 15 years. That's not hurt me at all. But I recognize that there are a lot of people who went by the old adage, location, location, location. Well, that doesn't exactly apply online, or does it?
It does, but it's definitely different. I think one of my favorite stories kind of illustrate this is I've had a chance to recently work with a dentist who, again, she was someone who she had a good location. People would come in, and when the pandemic hit, those people stopped coming, and she was trying to figure out, well, how do I make sure my company's protected during this time? And so she turned to the internet, and initially she did what a lot of people did. She started trying to buy ads to everybody in her home, in her hometown, and it got really, really expensive for her, and it wasn't working. And so I asked her, I said, okay, let me ask you a question. Let's say instead of you trying to show out your ads to everybody, who is your actual dream customer? If you could pick someone. And she thought about it for a little bit. She said, well, the customers that, my best customers are people who come in for Invisalign. I said, really? How come? And she said, well, Invisalign has the highest profit margins. Those people are more likely to keep coming back over and over again. And I said, okay, well, instead of you showing your ads to everybody, let's kind of like you talked about location. What's the location that we can put our ads just in front of the people that are most likely to buy? And so I asked her, these people that buy Invisalign, what do we know about them? And she said, okay, well, they make X amount of dollars per year. They live in these neighborhoods. And she gave me, the exact demographic of that person. Then went online and said, okay, let's don't show your ad to everybody. Let's turn all those ads off and just show ads to people that are most likely to buy your product. And so we did that. We made that shift, and it cut our advertising costs down to about 10% of what it was before, because we weren't showing to everybody. And then number two is she made an offer in that ad that said, hey, come in for Invisalign. And right now she gets between 10 and 20 new Invisalign clients a week, and it's completely transformed her business. And so I think that's the thing to understand, is that it may not be location, like physical location, but it is what's the location of your customers, and let's just go directly to them and show them our ad, as opposed to trying to blanket everybody and show everybody your ads.
So how help you set up your book? So if a person wanted to read it, I'm pretty sure they don't read it from beginning to end, but they select which chapter which helped them the best to retarget their company towards their audience?
Yeah, well, in the book I go through basically 20 different ways to get traffic. And so, what a lot of people don't know is that there are paid ways to get traffic. You pay money, but there's also a lot of free ways. And yeah, I think people kind of jump around and figure out, okay, I want to focus on Facebook, or I want to do Instagram or YouTube, and kind of go deep into those specific sections to really master whatever platform that they want to start getting traffic from.
Okay, so what about some of the apps that are out there for social media? For example, TikTok is supposed to be good for millennials, and Facebook is mostly for a different audience. LinkedIn is professional and business organizations. Do they also help your clients?
Yeah, definitely. In fact, I was talking to my daughter loves TikTok, and I asked her about Facebook, and she told me that Facebook is for old people, which made me laugh because that's what I like to use. But yeah, definitely, there's on each of the different platforms, each app. So on LinkedIn, like you said, you can target business professionals. On TikTok, you can target different people, but every platform kind of has the ability to target people differently. And so even though TikTok may skew to a younger audience, there are people that may be your dream customers that are on there, your dream demographic, so we can still target those people on those platforms as well.
So what do you suggest then for small businesses, basically, of how to reorganize their marketing so that they can start driving in the traffic in addition to what we've already discussed?
Yeah, I think for most people it's really coming back and saying, it's like a two-step process. Step number one is becoming super clear on who your customer is, like we talked about. And then number two is figuring out, where are those people actually congregating online? The powerful thing about the Internet is that, and this is true for all of us, right? When we get online, all of us have our favorite websites that we go to. And we go to them based on things that we're interested in. So, for example, my wife is big into health and fitness. So when she logs on the Internet, she goes to specific health and fitness blogs that she loves to read, and this health and fitness podcast that she listens to, and health and fitness videos that she watches on YouTube. So if I'm selling a product for people who are into health and fitness, the question I'd be asking is, okay, where are all the people interested in health and fitness? Where are they at? And here's a blog right here that has 100,000 readers. Here's a podcast that has 30,000 listeners. And so all these customers are all groups, like pockets of customers. And so then our job as business owners, after we identified, there's a blog with 100,000 of my dream customers, is going to that blog and say, okay, now how do I get my message out in front of them? How can I buy ads? How can I get this blog owner to send an email to their subscribers? How can we get our message out in front of them? And so the first step, again, is who's your dream customer. Number two is where are they congregating? And the last step is then how do we get our message? How do we get our hooks out there to get their attention so we can get them to come back and visit our website instead?
So it sounds like they need to put together a 21st century marketing plan. And if they've been in business long enough, they should have the demographics. Well, that's what a business plan is all about, right? Is that you put down what you believe your business can do and what your business will accomplish. You put down your operating costs that you needed in order to start your business, and then you project for the next 3 to 5 years of how you're going to bring in enough revenue to pay all your operation costs, and what's ever left over is you invest back in the company, right? So I would think the best way to repurpose your company or your small business is to make a new type of marketing plan to reflect all the different ways or manners or methods in order to bring in businesses, whether it's a blog, a newsletter, a daily tip sheet or something like that to interest your potential audience, your targeted market, and then bring them in and offer them something that will tantalize them to stick around on your website to buy more of your products and services, yes?
Yeah, those are all great strategies, for sure. I think that, now is definitely the time for people to do that, especially in the wake of this pandemic. It's like now's the time to sit back and, okay, what's the new plan? How am I going to incorporate digital marketing into my business now? And looking through all the things you just mentioned are all a perfect place to start for sure.
Sounds really good. Okay, Russell, could you please tell everybody where they can find your book, where they can find you, if you have a website, where your website is, anything else?
Yeah, definitely. So the new book is called Traffic Secrets, and obviously people can go to Amazon and they can search for it there. But because we're during the launch week of the book right now, I actually pre-bought a whole bunch of hardbound copies of it, and we're giving it away for free on my website. People just have to cover the shipping, but I prepaid for the book for them. So if they go to trafficsecretsbook.com, so it's trafficsecretsbook.com, and let me know where to ship them a copy, I'll ship them out a copy. And again, in the book, it goes over 20 different ways to get traffic into your websites, your funnels, and that's what they can do.
Terrific. Well, thank you very much for being on Cool Your Heels with Lillian. Ladies and gentlemen and adults of all ages, you can hear this interview all over again with Russell at https://passionateworldtalkradio.com. Right-hand side of the page, menu, scroll down, Cool Your Heels, click on it. If you're technologically challenged, we have a scissor line, which is a phone line. Punch in the numbers, and you'll hear the recording start immediately. You can also hear it on iHeart, iTunes, Spreaker, Amazon, ALEXA, Podchaser, Podcaster, LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, and tons of directories. And before you all go away, Pascal had this to say in 1670, the more intelligent one is, the more men of originality one finds. Ordinary people find no difference between men. Thank you all very much for listening, and go out and buy Russell's book. Thank you.